Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for a little coffee break.
It's been a long day. It's time for a coffee break.
Want something delicious? We've had some delicious coffees in our cups today because we just finished up with our latest guest on the full episode, Reza from Slick Coffee in Oman.
And
Sent us some gifties.
And, you know, he's a fan of rap, and off record, off the air, he dropped us a cypher. He dropped us a verse.
Busted out some freestyle. Yeah, he had it.
Unfortunately, you'll never get to hear it, but, you know.
It's just for us.
Ben, do you want to recreate it?
No.
Give us.
You keep trying to put me on the spot with singing.
I don't know why,
not
but
going to work.
Making you rap would be one of my, life's happiest moments. I don't know.
Maybe it'll be my Christmas present to you.
Yeah. Let's get a couple of vinos in him, and we're smash cut to us in Dubai and him on like a dance floor somewhere, just busting out.
We're in January right now. I've got 12 months of training and preparation for your next your 2026 Christmas.
Yeah. Oh man, you know what I want to figure out? This packaging, like how much does it cost to produce the packaging for this? But I will say, I feel like
so nice.
I feel like the Middle East has more of a market for just like showboating and being like
premium stuff.
Yeah. You know, they were talking about like the cars and the perfume and the bags. It's definitely like a
signal. It's a signal. Yeah. I mean, look, this is pretty cool. It definitely, like when you see it, this packaging that we've got in front of us, for those of you who are listening on the podcast, it's a beautiful little 250 gram bag here of Slick Coffee. It's like a little graphite, kind of a light gray with these really bright, colorful stickers on them. But the cool thing is, Reza was talking to us about these are very intentionally well thought out bags where he can introduce specialty coffee to a market that's maybe not as familiar with the concept. And so there's like a multi-stage, what did he say? Like a sequenced experience they can have depending on almost the kind of the language.
Yeah, it's like a linguistics thing. They're using design as a language to kind of take you there from like the experience through the pattern on the back, through the color of the label that's going to talk to you about the grading of the bean, all the way through to this little like feely little tactile thing.
So cool. So on the tag here, each of them has a little tag that says the tactile / mouthfeel. And it's actually an embossed little sticker that you're able to run your finger over. And he said it's like your tongue running over the hard palate of your mouth. And that's what you're going to experience. And it's so cool. It's just like a fun, like it's an interactive piece of packaging versus just a little stat drop.
I also do like, I'd love to know the numbers of like high-end home machines that are sold over there and like that growing market of like Lamazocos and Slays and doing that. Because I've definitely like, it's funny when I do like my little videos trying to help people where I'm like, if you have this Breville Bambino, like here's how to make a coffee on it. Like here's how to get the best results. I'll definitely get like some comments from some Middle Eastern dudes being like, the way to make good coffee on it is throw it in the bin. I've spent like, and then they'll literally like reply like, my home setup is over $40,000 and like stuff. I'm like, yeah, well, I can't afford that. So I'm sorry. They like burn off in their Lamborghini, leaving me in their dust.
It's good tasting dust.
Yeah, great tasting dust. They're shooting up a Panama geisha into my face in the dust of their car. They're grinding beans with their Lamborghini, just doing burnouts.
That's what you do your gravel with on your driveway?
Yeah. The gravel of their driveway
gravel.
is just the $980 a cup geisha, the $30,000 a kilo.
So disrespectful. But we wanted to have Reza on the pod because he has had some particular experiences, a unique set of experiences there, both in his personal journey and being like an amazing sensory expert and opening up a new coffee brand in Oman. We've been talking a lot recently about the Middle East coffee culture and the rise of specialty coffee. So it's super cool to kind of get a little bit of an insight into how do you even start engaging with that market.
Yeah, absolutely. And then just as a brief history lesson, I think I should have asked this on the pod, but my geography and understanding and that, you know, when you're like so stupid, you're like, am I going to look like an idiot if I ask this? And I'm just like way off.
Go for it, mate.
No, but when you speak to Middle Eastern guys, they'll be like, we invented coffee. And basically, they're saying they popularized it right in a commercial sense, that coffee moved from like Ethiopia to Yemen. Is that correct?
Through Turkey, I believe.
Yeah. But that's
Yep.
where it kind of started to like Arabica,
Yep.
like that's where it was popularized in a commercial sense, and that's where it kind of boomed throughout the world because it wasn't commercial in Ethiopia. It's just they had it and would make it at their homes and whatever. So that's the kind of origin, right, of where it started.
Yeah, it's a massive history, like centuries of history
Yeah.
of coffee in the region. And then layering on top of that is this new emergence of specialty. So yeah, I think there's kind of an interesting ownership and a re-ownership, I guess, of coffee.
Yeah.
But-
And one of the interesting things that I was kind of thinking about is I like the hospitality side of it because also, although the specialty side might be kind of new, the kind of history of how coffee is served and shared and how it's about sharing ideas. And he was talking about the space that they have in all the homes where they gather together and they make major life decisions and they do it over coffee.
Yep.
Makes sense. Also, specialty is all about, you can get into that higher end world. They're like, we don't drink, so we're not reaching for a 18-year-old
wine or-
Macallan or whatever it is, or a really expensive bottle of wine. They're reaching for a Panama Geisha or, something like that. So I thought that was kind of cool, and how that culture can be brought in to have a different specialty experience over there than you might have, say, somewhere like America or Australia.
Yeah, and I think there are restrictions there that Reza has had, or like barriers that he's had. He's Iranian originally, and he talked a little bit about his long journey to get to where he is, where, he hit some walls in terms of, ability to grow as a coffee professional and opportunities in Iran, and had to move internationally. But then I think that some of those restrictions have created this really creative problem-solving space.
Yeah.
That's generated this new stuff, and I think kind of like what you're saying about that broader cultural landscape in the Middle East, and in the UAE and Saudi Arabia and Oman and even in Turkey and things, is that we're kind of seeing coffee and specialty coffee represented. Yes, it's not in a different way, but it's at like with the volume turned up in its representation.
Yep.
And like I was saying, I think that's like a really cool kind of opportunity for us in the industry to see where it could go. Now, it might not be sustainable.
Yep.
That's something that we talked about as well. Like there's this crazy growth and crazy boom of very high-end stuff there, which maybe actually doesn't have a good business case behind it. But it's an interesting area to see explored.
But there's probably a lot of the companies that are funded by money where they don't care if it succeeds. It's just like, let's make this baller thing that's like just awesome. And I remember last year when we were doing World of Coffee in Dubai, we were chatting to some of the guys. Isn't there like farms where they've just like taken every single like best growing like coffee in the world, and they've just got like farms and farms of all these different ones, and they're just growing it to see how it goes and cultivating it.
Yeah. Well, in Saudi, it's amazing. There's such a huge investment there in turning that into a big coffee producing country.
Yeah.
And they're just throwing a lot of money into it. So it's super fascinating.
I think also the step compared to somewhere like Australia into specialty coffee with those more interesting flavors, it might actually be a lot easier over there as well, because Australia comes from this like deep Italian espresso background, which starts with dark, bitter, chocolatey, ashy coffee, right? And that's our mind of it. So maybe for us, that transition was potentially harder. Whereas over there's a whole bunch of different brewing things, even with like green coffee, right? Where it's like, or like very, very lightly roasted coffee that's just like a mild brown, which, can be quite nutty and floral. And then not only that, but then you're adding cardamom, spices, cloves, rose petals, rose water.
The OG signature drink.
Yeah. And like, some of the characteristics that we were talking about on the Lohas episode with Juan, some of the things that we were talking about in these new specialty coffees were, you were describing it as a Turkish delight, which is maybe how coffees were being spiced already
for sure.
in some places in the Middle East. So maybe that's a lot more approachable and just kind of interesting where you're like, oh, it's just naturally occurring in the coffee.
I wonder if there's a tendency or a preference for different flavor profiles from consumers there, kind of what you're saying. But it's like, I wonder if we're getting more selection on a broad scale towards things that have got a bit of spice or herbaceous character. Reza was talking about there seems to be a real preference for people who like fruity coffees, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
But I'm so stoked to go to Dubai and to
World of Coffee
Dubai to meet the community over there is what I'm excited about. And to do that, I last year didn't go. Our team went over because I was like a month out from having a baby, and
you were deep in.
I think I even lunch just like, hey Sophie, what do you think? It's like no, and it's like fair enough. I'm not going to take that risk. So it'll be a whole new experience for me to take that on as well. Yeah,
it's great. I'm really excited to go back. So as this episode goes to air, we'll either be just about to land or having landed in Dubai.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this as it releases, that's where we are for the next couple of days.
I did pitch to Ben that we should just record this and join the Mile High Club of podcasting and record it together in the bathroom. That's a great
in the bathroom.
He didn't mention the bathroom, did
no,
he,
he didn't.
No. It's
okay. Are you telling me that an Instagram reel of like Ben walking out of the bathroom by himself and then the door opening again, those classic ones, and then it's just me walking out with two microphones? It's like,
just recorded that good stuff.
I mean, that's the intro right there.
Yeah.
Maybe we just do it with the flight crew, not in the bathroom.
Wait, what?
But
just do what?
Wait a second.
It's like, and then the door keeps opening, and then like three more people come out.
Yeah, they have to know.
It's like a clown car
the clown
in the bathroom.
Car. Yeah.
So good.
But we'll be there at World of Coffee Dubai. It's actually exciting. We're an official kind of media partner there, doing some podcasting on the ground. But really capturing some of the stories and the meeting some of the people who are behind the scene there. So actually, if you're listening to this and it's still around the time of World of Coffee Dubai, feel free to drop us a message with any suggestions you have for who we might want to go and check out, go and drink some coffee at their booth or in a cafe, or if someone's visiting the show that you think we really need to connect with, drop us a message.
That is very good. Where can they send us a message?
Oh, well, you can email us at helloitsjustcoffeepodcast.com. Oh God, it's just coffee.
Hello,
pod.
it's just coffee pod.
Why didn't we just like keep it at pod? Anyway, it's just hello at itsjustcoffeepod.com or DM us on the socials, the Instagram at itsjustcoffee.podcast.
Yep.
We keep on saying dot.
There's no dot.
It's just podcast.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
It's yeah.
It's just a mess.
fine,
but
but
who
like, it's
cares?
just
Because
coffee
on socials, people
Hold on, but
Anyway.
on the name though, we did actually look it up, and there's like an unused. It is taken that name. It's just coffee podcast. Oh no, it's just coffee. That's it.
do you know
if
why?
you're camping on that, give it up.
I know.
Do you want to know why I did it? It's because with Golden Brown, I got the website goldenbrown.coffee. So instead of .com, it's .coffee. And then for ease of use, our socials, our everything is goldenbrown.coffee. So that just like wherever
Rolls
you
off the
go, you
tongue.
just type that in and it gets you there. So that's where I'm thrown out with those ones.
But I'm excited to be returning to Dubai because I haven't really spent any significant time there for, I want to say like a decade.
What?
I actually was flown out or brought out there for the first ever 2 United Arab Emirates Barista Championships.
Hey.
So the first one they ever did, and then the second one that followed up. And I kind of went over with a number of other international judges, and it was so cool. First ever Barista Championships. The competitors were all coming from like the chain stores because there was no specialty scene there really to speak of. There was like one crew, Raw Coffee, big shout out to you guys. We're like forging the path in Dubai. But otherwise we had like competitors from Starbucks, from Costa Coffee, from like some of the hotel groups. And they were rocking up and bringing coffee that was, It was like
Dank.
Look, it was where it was at that point.
Yeah.
But they were all trying to kind of find out how to make coffee better. And one of the official sponsors at that point was
Your mum and dad.
no. In fact, it was the Sheikh, the Sheikh of Dubai, and the sponsor
Shake it off.
was the camel farm, and therefore the camel milk that
they had to use
everyone
camel milk.
was required to use in their milk beverage. So we drank a whole heap of camel milk cappuccinos that competition.
Well, you know the reel that we're
Distinctive.
doing when we're over there.
We got to do
The camel milk cap.
the camel milk
happening.
cap. Could we drink it
Camelcino.
while we ride a camel?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm up for that.
I am.
Benny the camel has 2 humps.
What was I going to say? I think just to be on the absolute opposite flip, one of the first coffee expos I actually went to was Dubai last year,
Yeah, nice.
which was so cool. So that's like my basic standard, and it'd be really cool to get your take because from what it sounds like, it's the absolute.
Dialed. It's been dialed up.
Yeah. Like this is the epitome of. I mean, I didn't get to go with you guys to host, but
Yep.
Dubai being the kind of pinnacle was cool. There was some of the most ridiculous coffees I've tasted.
I'm excited. I'm like, from everything that we've heard, that the whole community, the culture is doing some exceptional things over there. So it's going to be really cool to see what we taste.
I also want a quick update for the listeners. Ben's parents still have not messaged to say, we're hearing the shout outs and we listen to the pod. So I think it's safe to say after this much time that they are not listening to the pod. No,
Mum and
no,
Dad,
do not message
what's
them. We
happening?
need to get we need to get a raw.
What do you mean? How do we get feedback? I'm like, Mum and Dad, we're calling you out. Hang on, I'm just going
Wait, what about if I write it for you?
I'm recording a little voicemail straight online. We've got the family chat here going. All
Okay,
right.
record it live on the pod. Here we go.
Here we go. All right, this is to the family group chat. Hey, Mum and Dad, this is Ben here. I judge coffee competitions and coffee makers, and you are live on the podcast here with my co-host, Rowan.
You are live on the podcast, and the reason we're messaging you is because Ben likes to claim that you listen to the podcast, but I've made many, many comments about you guys on this podcast, yet you've never sent him a message being like, why is Rowan talking about us on the podcast? So this is just our little message to discover, are you actually listening? And also, congratulations on raising such a handsome young man.
Oh,
if
boy.
you look anything like him, then, oh boy, you are 2 good-looking roosters.
I apologize to my co-host, Rowan. But thanks, Mum and Dad, for supporting my career moves and not like weeping when I finished my years of university study and say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and work in a coffee shop. Yeah, that sounds good. They were super supportive of me, and I know that you are listening to my podcast right now.
Wow.
But you're live on this episode. Please send a message to confirm. Bye. Love you.
Right. Well, I don't think there's
Send.
any better way to end a podcast than sending a message to the parents. But this is normally this is the part of the episode where we say, hey, share this with a friend, like it, do all that kind of stuff. None of that. What we're going to say is message your parents right now.
Oh,
Tell them you love them.
that's it.
Say,
Tell them to listen to this podcast.
and then tell them to like and subscribe. See you next week.
we want parents signing up right now. Bye, everyone.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a quick word from one of our sponsors, Apax Lab. Elevate your coffee experience with Apax Lab mineral concentrates. Apax Lab's precision-engineered formulas, including tonic, jam, and lilac, are designed to enhance the coffee's natural flavors. Not going to change it, it's just going to enhance it. It's going to bring out the vibrant acidity, the rich sweetness, or if you use lilac, it might bring out those delicate floral notes that you've been looking for. Trusted by world-class cafes and even barista champions, Apax Lab helps you unlock your coffee's full potential. Discover more at apaxlab.com. Wait, where was that again, Sonam?
The internet.
Oh, okay. Thought he was going to say the website. Thanks.
We put so much effort into our espresso, dosing, distributing, tamping, weighing. But then in so many cases, a cafe will just take whatever milk they happen to have available and throw it in and call it a day.
I know, and milk actually makes up 70% of all coffees ordered. So you could argue that great milk is just as important as great coffee.
Definitely could argue that.
Oh, I couldn't, I did.
Our great sponsors of the podcast, Riverina Fresh, have a milk that is made for coffee specifically, and it's used by some of the best cafes around the country and, in fact, World Barista Champion.
Yeah, this gold range that they actually have here was designed alongside a World Barista Champion to be richer and more indulgent to pair perfectly with coffee.
If you want to check it out, they are doing a sweet deal for Australian-based cafes, and you can get a free trial.
That's exactly right. You can get a free trial straight to your door. Just head to riverinafresh.com.au and see if your cafe is eligible. And why wouldn't you? Serve up the same milk as World Barista Champions. Today's episode is brought to you by our amazing sponsors at Eco Barista. The reason I sound like this is because they got massages at our stand at Mice, and so I'm getting a massage while recording this message for you. They're the best sponsor of the pod that we could have had. They have the best eco products. This probably sounds really pornographic, but it's not. I'm just getting a massage. They have the best eco-friendly coffee products. They got coffee bags that you can design yourself. They got cups. They got iced coffee cups. They got everything you need. So make sure to support them because they support us. Head to ecobarista.com.au and get 15% off your first purchase when you sign up. Oh, mama, that's good.